It is 11:30 at night on Thursday evening. I should be in bed watching The Simpsons, but stupid Brett, my editor, sent me a brand new link to an article from Bloomberg talking about a new Nintendo Switch 2 report. So here I am, making this video for you guys instead of sleeping, because I care about you more than I care about myself. So we're going to check out this article. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Let's get those numbers up. But before we get into this article, I want to give a huge thank you to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Persona 3 Reload, which launches on February 2nd, 2024, but is available now for pre-order on the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows, Steam, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 4. Wondering where to start your Persona journey? Persona 3 Reload is the perfect place to jump into the franchise, as you don't have to have played previous Persona games to enjoy Persona 3 Reload. The story is self-contained, which makes it great for newcomers and veterans alike. Persona 3 Reload is the captivating reimagining of the pivotal game of the Persona series, faithfully rebuilt with cutting-edge graphics, modern quality-of-life features, and of course, the signature stylish user interface. So what are you waiting for? Persona 3 Reload comes out on February 2nd, is available for pre-order now on your Xbox, your Windows, your Steam, or your PlayStation hardware. So be sure to check out Persona 3 Reload, and a huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. I failed to mention this in the video ad there, but there is a link in the description box down below to pre-order and get more information on Persona 3 Reload. Let's hop into this article though. This just went up at the time of the filming of this video, so I am definitely on top of things. I had to sign up for Bloomberg's website to access the whole article. Like, I didn't have to pay anything, thankfully, but it made me like, and this won't go away either, so I don't know, just deal with it. I get one free article to read. This is coming to us from Mochizuki and Yuki Furukawa. I wonder if there's any relation to President Furukawa. The next system from the Kyoto company to have an 8-inch LCD. Nintendo's next Switch coming this year with LCD, Omdia says. So as we get along here, it's from an Omdia analyst named Hiroshi Hayashi. I think I'm saying that right. Basically saying that Nintendo will launch a new game console this year with an 8-inch LCD screen. The new device from the Kyoto-based games maker will be responsible for a doubling in shipments of so-called amusement displays in 2024, Hayashi said in Tokyo on Friday. His research focuses on small and medium displays, and he bases annual forecasts on checks with companies in the supply chain. So essentially, if there's a large, uptick in a screen size that's obviously going to be pretty niche, there's obviously going to be a reason for that. And when you're talking about a console such as the Nintendo Switch, like, yeah, it could be a mini PC sort of thing, but a lot of these mini PCs and handheld PCs, your Steam Decks, your ROG Allies, all the other competitors out there as well, they don't do huge batch numbers. They're doing smaller increments to see how the market really adapts and takes to what they are putting out there. So for it to, essentially double, there has to be a bigger reason for that. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch is still being manufactured as well, probably in lower quantities, so there has to be some sort of driving force with that. Then they go on to talk about the Nintendo Switch sales, but expectations have narrowed to this year's holiday period for the release of the next generation. Osaka-based Sharp Corporation last year said it was supplying LCD panels and working closely with the maker of an upcoming console that was then at the research and development stage. Sharp, which is owned by Foxconn Technology Group, has worked with Nintendo in the past, served as a Switch assembler during the pandemic. A Nintendo spokesman said the company had nothing to comment on. And then you can kind of see here the forecast. This is the actual forecast here. And you can see, we're at 12 million to 26 million. That's that's an over 50% jump in something like that. If Sharp is working with an upcoming console manufacturer, and Sharp is someone that's probably not going to take a lot of small orders, they're going to take bigger orders, then yeah, if this forecast is to be accurate, and, it's interesting because you look and like the numbers stay pretty high. I guess that Nintendo, or at least this forecast is trying to convey to us that Nintendo is very confident in this system and confident in the potential success of it. Obviously, we're talking over 100 million units manufactured in just 4 years. Now, obviously, like I said, that's not all just the Nintendo Switch 2. Some of that will be Nintendo Switch. Some of that is going to be other devices as well. I don't think all 12 million of these, smaller screens that were manufactured in 2023 were all Nintendo Switch systems. That would be kind of foolish. But I mean, even if half of these, moving 50 mil in like 4 years, that's pretty impressive stuff here. When you look at the past stuff going on with Sharp, when you look at just how, Nintendo has been handling things, I tend to believe this report. I think the 8-inch LCD screen, I know people are up in arms about that. They're like, oh, why isn't it an OLED screen? And I get it. The OLED screen on the Switch OLED is far superior to the standard Nintendo Switch screen but it's not because that's an OLED screen and the other Switch screen is an LCD screen. Not all LCD screens are created equal. There are ones of higher quality. You got to remember, the Switch is essentially using a screen from 2014, obviously not even a top-end screen from 2014 because Nintendo likes to keep their prices down. So all LCD screens, there are higher-end things that look a lot better than, of course, what you're getting with the standard Nintendo Switch, and some of them can even mimic an OLED style of display as far as color density is, involved, things like contrast and shadows and, the blacks looking, darker than, your lighter colors and stuff like that. That could be taken out of context, Jesus Christ. But you get what I'm saying, folks. Like, the color range on an LCD screen, it's not one-to-one with every other LCD screen in the world, so I don't think it's anything to really get worried about. I know people are going to ask me, though, RGT, does this mean we're going to see this, at this February Nintendo Direct that's probably happening? No. I'm telling you guys, I don't think you're going to hear anything about this until, at the very earliest, April 1st, because that is the start of the new fiscal year. And once we get into a new fiscal year, then yeah, we can start to talk about upcoming things. I think if a Direct does happen in the month of February, which I'm sure it will to some extent, you're just going to get information on games you already know about and probably some smaller development titles, more remakes, more remasters, maybe even a new 2D game or an offshoot game of a more popular franchise or something like that. It's not to say that the games aren't going to be quality, but I just don't think they're pumping in high budget games into a Nintendo Switch system that people are obviously ready for the next thing for. You kind of want to save those things for whatever you got upcoming with your games. But I think this is pretty cool, man. Whenever bigger places start to talk about these sorts of things, that's when things get very interesting. I know that Nintendo is hiring for like some sort of streaming stuff. I saw that was a news story, and I was actually going to talk about that today, but I didn't look too much into it. But, could that be a part of this new hardware, where you can stream directly from the console, much like you can do with stuff like the PlayStation 4 and 5 and the Xbox? Like, you didn't necessarily, or at least for the PlayStation, I'm not sure if you could stream directly from the Xbox. I've never tried it because I always have capture cards. But with the PlayStation 4, you technically didn't need a capture card. You could stream directly from that system. Same thing with the PlayStation 5. Could Nintendo be looking at something like that with the new hirings or something like that? I feel like that would already be sort of set in stone for this new hardware. That seems like something that would kind of have to be in the DNA of the system, but things are going to get interesting, man. Like I've said, I think we're going to get more and more reports. Hopefully we get some more information. I'd like to see some specs come out. I know we had that Taiwan Economic Forum stuff, but, it's hard to say if that's going to be accurate or not. I'd rather see, something from a bit of a more reputable person. Now, just to cover my bases here, if none of this happens, don't blame me. You blamed me for the Nintendo Switch Pro when I was just talking about what Bloomberg was talking about. It's fine. I'll take my loss on it. Let me know what you think about this, though, in the comment section down below. Are you excited for the, I guess, more announcements coming out? Or would you be satisfied with an 8-inch LCD screen? Because I'm sure your girl will be satisfied with an 8-inch anything, because yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Big thanks to Persona 3 Reload for sponsoring today's video. Check out the link in the description box down below. You guys have always known I've been a Persona fan, so, I mean, it was a perfect partnership. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.